Hello and welcome viewers to Nirmal Bagam here on Daria. We have with us Riya Singh, technical analyst currencies joining in. Riya, with what's happening in the currencies market as well, with the kind of recovery that we're seeing in the equity markets, what's the sense that you pick up, especially with regards to where the dollar index goes? Because uh, if you talk about the dollar index, we did see some bit of heavy sell-off last week as well. Do you think we are now in a consolidation phase? And what's the outlook?
Yes. So if you look at the dollar index, it has, corrected quite a bit now. If we were talking at a time where dollar index was at 99 and now it is at 96.72. So the cool off, I think, has come after the lockdown measures were relaxed, and especially after the liquidation, the fiscal policy that was released by the ECB, and we see a quite strong euro against the dollar. So whenever there is,
Mm.
a stronger euro into the market, this results in a weaker dollar, or weaker greenback. Because if you look at the dollar index, euro accounts to around 57.6% of the strength. So obviously, when there was quite a strong or a positivity that came in into the euro after the fiscal policy or a fiscal, liquidation that was announced by the ECB. So the correction that we are seeing right now is possibly because of that. And also, if you look at the US unemployment claims,
Mm.
it was expected to be at 20%, but it came around 13.7%, which
Still
is
low,
quite
correct.
a recovery. Yeah, which is quite a recovery even from the last, from the April month numbers, because April month I think was around 14.3%. So that was, these two factors have played into the weakening of the greenback, and the same we are seeing into the dollar index as well.
Right. And what's the kind of impact are you seeing ahead of the Fed meeting, Ria?
I think Fed will continue with the accommodative stance. Obviously, there is a lot of things yet to do in order to bring back the economy of the US as well. There is not much of the recovery seen. The unemployment claims have gone down. Yes, there is some job creation that has happened. But I think there is still a very long way to go for the economy to come back to its normal pace. So I think we can definitely expect some fiscal measures, more support from the Fed into this Fed meeting. So I think it will. It will get it will Fed will remain with the accommodative stance even in this Fed meeting. Now, rate cut is something that we are
Mm.
not expecting, because negative, because even if you look at the past statement from the Fed, they are not very much enthusiastic, on the negative rates. So I think that is still out of the picture right now.
Right. So what are charts indicating, Ria, for the dollar index? Because lately we're just below that 97. That's the tight range that we have been looking at on the dollar index. So currently, what are charts indicating? What are the levels we should be watching out for?
I think if you look at the dollar index, I think it will range between 98 to 96 levels. I'm not seeing dollar index breaching the 96 levels, at least for a few trading sessions. So I think 96 is a very crucial support for the dollar index. Any bounce back is expected will be from that level. So I think 96 is the support for the coming session for the dollar index.
Right. And with this, what's the kind of impact do we see with regards to the Indian rupee as well? Because overall, we've seen levels of almost around 75.55. So we've edged slightly higher. Now, if we see some bit of weakness that does come in on the dollar index, do you think we will get support?
Yes, definitely. If dollar index, dollar index was weakening, but we were not seeing much of the impact on the rupee right now because there was a rebound into the oil prices. Now, if you look at the yesterday trading session, there has been quite a dip onto the crude oil prices as well. Uh, and even on the announcement there is there is output cut, and more such related steps have been taken by the OPEC. I think there will be much further cuts, let's see on that part. But I think the rise into the crude oil prices was the factor that was contradicting with the strengthening of the rupee, because we were getting a good weakness in the dollar. We were getting good FII inflows to support the rupee. So this is the reason why we were not witnessing much of the strength coming into the into the rupee. But going forward, I think if there is a breach of the 96 levels in the dollar index, we can definitely see some you know strengthening of the rupee. We are definitely expecting a level of around 75, 74, 75 into the coming sessions, because 76 is a very crucial resistance for the rupee right now. If you look at the entire May, it has been resisting to that level. Even in the first week of June, there is a resistance on that level. It is not going beyond that. It is not even testing the levels. 75, 95, 75, 85 is
Right.
the max resistance that we are seeing on the higher side.
Hmm.
So I think owing to that, we can definitely see some positivity coming into the rupee, and I think selling on the higher rise is something to keep in mind for the rupee into the coming sessions.
Right. So overall, Ria, what are the strategies that you would recommend for the day?
I think we can definitely look for, let me just, yeah, so I think we can definitely look for something into the rupee. We did see a week open, and again there is, if you look at the candle formation, there is a long shadow on the candle, which means there is a resistance on the higher side. So I think anywhere between 70, below 75.60 will be a good level for a short into the
Hmm.
pair. So sell rupee below 75.60 for the target of 75 45, 75.30 for the coming sessions.
Hmm.
And if you see a open below 75.60, you can definitely go for a option of going short, buying a put of 75.50 to so these are the two things that you can follow. The another strategy that you can follow into the rupee will be on the, obviously on the short side, to get a hedge of some sort. You can definitely go long put onto it, long spread put. So 75.50, buy a put of 75.50, and sell a put of 75.25. So that will be a good strategy for today. If there is an open below 75.60, you can definitely gain into that strategy. The other thing, I think, apart from these three strategy, the other thing that you can definitely look for is into the yen as well. Now yen has been weakening, and we are not seeing it going above 70. So I think any open below 69 uh, will be a good opportunity to short into the pair. So below 69, go for a short into the pair for 68.80, 68
Hmm.
60 for the today's session.
Right. All right, Ria. Pleasure speaking to you, and thank you for sharing those strategies as well. We will connect with you once again, once the FOMC comes out with their decision, and let's see how the dollar index reacts to it as well, and let's see how the Indian rupee will then perform from there on. Thank you so much, viewers, for joining in, and I hope the strategies help you for the day as well. Thank you very much.